limit. Quickly look at the views around the room and dive right in as there's a lot to cover. In this speech, I'm going to step back and go over the 4 voting issues in this round today. Through all these, I would like to ask the judges to remember the burden of proof that has been imposed on the proposition team. As I've heard and I have repeatedly brought up, since they're trying to cover twice as much ground, they have a much higher burden of proof. Their only refutation to this was, it's not true, the topic says enough. And this is, however, my partner and I believe that it is the proposition's job to narrow the topic, to define the houses. The example my partner brought up was that they can't say that the house is 2 or 3 different houses, they must pick one. Same way that they can't have 2 or 3 different ways to argue, they must have one, or else have a higher burden of proof. So please remember this, that they must prove their examples throughout this debate. Our first voter is that of the military. So we're going to weigh who has won this argument about the military. The proposition team has simply said, we give them too much, but they haven't shown how we give them too much. When questioned, they said, when will enough be enough? When will we decide that enough is enough? However, a rhetorical question is not an adequate argument. It holds no ground. If they say, when is enough enough, that's not proving that we're overspending. That's not proving we're spending enough. That's not proving anything. So they have not shown any harms to giving the military this kind of money. They have not shown any harms of giving them 23% of our budget. The only thing they've repeated again and again is that we are giving them 23% of our budget. So if you look on the propositions team case, they have no harms to this. They have no reason why this is bad. They have no reasons why this helps their side. However, if you look at the opposition's side, we think that we need money to go to the military. The military is expensive to run. It is expensive to defend the country. It is expensive to be in all these wars. However, it is necessary. So if you look on the proposition team side, we have necessary expensive to keep the military going. Second is that of education. The only thing the proposition team has said on education is that education is good, so why don't we just move things around? However, as my partner brought up, move them around from where? Nowhere in their first 2 speeches have they brought up any mention of that we should move around taxes. And they haven't shown where those taxes would come from other than the stupid programs that they have failed to mention. Please remember this, I used to take their one and only POI.
You say we've mentioned no place of moving things around. Are you going to continually ignore the fact that we've said there's too much money in the military and that we can take it out of the military and into things like education?
I have not ignored the military. Simply, the proposition team has shown no reason why the military has too much, how the military could do with less. If they have no proof why the military needs less, then they have no argument there. So on 2 levels, if their only argument under education is backed up by an argument that we have already poked holes in, then that just completely defeats both of them. So as you can see, the opposition team is already up 2 points, saying that we need money to fund education. And again, if you look at California, people aren't nearly taxed enough as far as education goes. California has one of the worst education systems in the country because we don't fund it enough, because there aren't enough taxes going for it, which is an actual concrete example of where the opposition team has won this point on education. Third is of infrastructure. The only argument the proposition team has brought up again is that overlapping government means we're wasting money because the federal government does somewhat similar jobs or jobs under the same category as town governments, that this is a waste of money, that we're being overtaxed. However, again, there is no proof behind this. In fact, you need different levels of government to do different jobs. You need different levels of government to manage national parks than you do little school parks within communities. You need different levels of government managing interstate highways as you do roads that just need to be paved in some of the newer farm towns, etc. You need different levels of government doing these things. One level cannot adequately do all of it. The federal government can't take on all of that in addition to all their other responsibilities. The state government can't control the other states, and the local government can't go beyond their town limits. There is no harms to these being separated. In fact, it is beneficial. So again, the opposition team has won yet another point on this level. And fourth thing of personal. Let's look at the personal level of this, as this really is the House and one of the biggest options to look at. The proposition team has brought up the Tea Party, a couple hundred people. Well, if they believe the couple hundred people represent their side, then everyone else in the country represents the opposition side. If their couple hundred people are all that's proving their side, or millions of people are what are proving their side. The millions of people who aren't in the Tea Party, who are happy or who know that the government needs the taxes, even if they don't personally like being taxed, but know that it is necessary, believe that the government does need it, and know that it is for their own good and the good of their country. So if you look at really all the arguments that have been brought up today, the opposition team has won on every single level of these. And for these reasons, the opposition team has won this debate today. Thank you.